What's good, YouTube? Manaphy here with the fifth and final expert solo battle from Extra Dimensional Crisis in the form of Alolan Dugtrio EX. Sorry that this one kind of got delayed or put in the back burner. Here it is though. As always, please consider subscribing if these videos help you. If you enjoy watching anything Pokemon Pocket. If you're interested in something more competitive gameplay, I do stream on Twitch. The description to that will be down below. As always, my goal with these videos is to beat the expert solo battle with not only the specified type, which for Alolan Dugtrio it is all waters, but also to beat it with 3 diamonds or less. This is ended up being one of the easier ones for a reason I did not anticipate while going into it. But before we get into the list we'll be using, I always like to break down the deck we're going against. And as you can see here, it's a very aggressive deck. Everything hits for 2 energy or less. Skarmory and Excadrill are hitting you for 50 very early on. It's hard to keep up with. However, we do play some things to like kind of deal with that. Another thing is the tools. They max out on tools clearly for the Skarmory play, but Giant Cape and Rocky Helmet are still like staples in the format. Great cards, and they don't get any worse in this situation. It's actually the best cards in the deck tend to be that. The only other like supporter or trainer in the deck that like is different is Adamant, and honestly it doesn't come up very few times does it change the math into getting the victory or in like losing or whatever. It moves the needle very little, if at all. And then the biggest thing is definitely Alolan Dugtrio's ability to swing for 180 like max. Obviously it's anywhere from 0 to 180, but no matter how hard Alolan Dugtrio can hit, there's one big issue and one glaring issue that you'll see in the gameplay if you stick around, or maybe when you try out yourself you'll notice, and that is if the Pokemon you have in your active like presents lethal or threatens lethal to the Dugtrio, they do not take their chances with the coin flips. That's my personal experience. If it doesn't work, like if they do end up going for the coin flip when you have lethal on board, not just in general, they will go for the coin flips. But if you have a Pokemon on board that could swing enough, like hard enough to knock out Dugtrio, they just retreat it. And honestly, I was like dumbfounded. I was like recording the gameplay. I'm just like, so wait, what? Like, so again, if the opposite occurs for you, please comment down below, and I'll figure out, or I'll I guess adjust the list accordingly, or try to find a better tips or something else to like help you. But trust me when I say, if you present lethal, if the Pokemon in your active swings for 130 or more, and they didn't add them in or something to like be able to survive that damage, that Dugtrio will never attack. They'll retreat, even if it costs them the game. Even if you just need 1 point for a game, they'll retreat to like a Drillbur and pass. Like it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. These AIs keep trolling. Like I keep getting like dumbfounded with the ways to beat these things. But again, that's enough about this deck. Honestly, on paper, it could be very devastating if they were actually played correctly and just went all out with Dugtrio, and you'd be coin flipping left and right and hoping like, oh, please don't hit me. And like, luckily, I don't think we have to worry too much about that with the specific list that I'm running, which is Non-EX Blastoise. Non-EX Blastoise is one of those Pokemon that's just a beauty to work with in these expert solo battles. Not only is it like 3 diamond or less, so it meets the requirement that we do for these challenges, because once it has 5 energy, which is literally everything in this deck is meant to build up that Blastoise, it starts swinging for 140. As you can see, it knocks out Dugtrio. Also, it has 150 HP, which tends to survive most attacks. Granted, in Dugtrio's case, if they were to flip 3 coins and hit 180, not even Cape could help Blastoise. But like I mentioned, the second you have a 5 energy Blastoise in the active, threatening lethal to this Dugtrio, they're just like, nah, I'm out, and they don't use it. But anyways, we created the list in anticipation that they would use it. And so the reason we have Cape, I ride, and the one I ride them is to keep our Blastoise out of the range of 2 coin flips. As long as we keep Blastoise out of, above 120, I felt like it was like a decent enough chances to survive a Dugtrio. That was before I realized that they just don't even try, but that's no here nor there. We then have Manaphy and Palkia. Manaphy's clearly there to ramp. The reason we play 2 capes is because one is to keep Blastoise above the range of 120 if possible. The other one is so that Manaphy could survive the attack of either Excadrill or Skarmory, being able to ramp as much as possible. Palkia is kind of there as always, like a middleman or just an extra attacker. The fact that it's swinging for 60, it doesn't really threaten anything. It's usually just there to be a wall. The one Misty is just for the chance that they get too aggressive. It might be our only way of catching up to the amount of aggression they have and building up the Blastoise to 5 energy. Because again, once you have Blastoise at 5 energy, you practically win the game, because they will not attempt to use Dugtrio for whatever reason. Guzma is one of those cards that you might up to 2. I cut it to fit in the second cape, but Guzma at 2 is obviously relevant as they have four tools in the deck. They're maxing out. However, I played the 1 because I just hold it so it's relevant. The capes don't really matter. I just use it when Rocky Helmet changes the values. Again, as long as you present lethal and they don't have a way of knocking out your Blastoise, they just don't try it. I feel the rest of the deck is pretty self-explanatory. The key cards that we use to deal with Dugtrio is basically the Guzma, and I guess the healing and double cape is to keep up with the early game, which is their Excadrill and Skarmory. Overall, this list should work perfectly fine for everybody. Again, their biggest issue or your biggest help is the fact that the AI does not use Dugtrio aggressively enough. They actually protect it a little too much. So hopefully this list works for you, or at least the guide presents you the information you need to complete this challenge. As always, please consider subscribing, as although this is the final extra dimensional crisis extra solo battle, there'll be many more to come as sets go dropping by month to month, and you know I'll be there to post a guide to beat every single one of them, regardless of the challenge, whether it's no trainer, whether it's 3 diamonds or less, whether it's water only, whatever type they want to put. So once again, thank you for watching, and remember, stick for the gameplay for a better idea of how it works, or for proof that this Dugtrio just doesn't want to swing. And above all else, stay pro. Right, going second. This hand is alright, depending on how aggressive they open, of course, right? Going second though helps a lot, because if they're going second, that means they have energy advantage. That means with the right cards, they could be swinging with Dugtrio immediately. Excadrill hits you for 50. Like, it gets really ugly if they go second, right? Alright, this is looking rather good. Again, they don't have access to all these crazy, like Mars, right? They're not playing meta, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Pokeball here. That's decent. We'll put that down. Technically, we don't need to put Cape just yet, so we'll just Water Gun. There's nothing they could do to knock us out next turn. They're not like on Geo or nothing crazy like that. Yeah, so you see, we're very close to being in trouble. What, they decided to go for the 50? Irida doesn't save us as much as Rare Candy does, so we'll research here. War Turtle. If I would have drawn Manaphy there, I probably would have gone, like, put down the Manaphy, swaps, Cape Manaphy so it survives anything that they do, and start building up like that. However, might swap into Palkia and try to buy us some time as well. No Sabrina, no Repel, no nothing like that, so what we need is time so that we can knock out like everything in our way. So not ideal, but let's start doing that instead. Go here, give it an energy. We took 50, right? So Blastoise would be at 100. We'd be able to Irida it back to like 160 or something. Okay, Adam in there doesn't matter because obviously we're not going to attack. Misty's actually pretty good here. Yeah, let's go. Okay, the Palkia is just there to get knocked out, so we're just hoping to have Blastoise ready with 5 energy by the time that it comes up. Okay, that's good. That's better than nothing, right? But all it does is make up for the energy we had to throw away. Yeah. Alright, yeah, we're on pace to be on track, like to be good. Is what I'm trying to say. Dugtrio max does hit 180 though, but I get not the average, but like the middle is 120. That's the health we want to be above. That's our goal anyway. So let's go Irida here. Oh, I have to put it in the middle. I was like, wait, why didn't it work? They're not playing Guzma or nothing, so we could drop the cape already. And just pass there. So it's going to come down to Dugtrio's flip, really. We don't care for all the items, because clearly we have Guzma. I will Guzma here, though, so that they don't go Skarmory and hit it for too hard, basically. Let's go Guzma. And although we didn't have the best start, we're still on track to win this one. Granted, it does, like, if they flip 3 heads with Dugtrio, there's not much any deck could do. Because even Blastoise with the cape only hits 170, even if it was fully healed, which 3 coin flips hits for 180. That's actually kind of rough, honestly. They had the last tool. It's like, okay. So it's actually gonna come down to them only having, if they flip only one heads. Which is not what I wanted to do. Like, clearly we were on pace for better, but we had put ourselves in a position where we would have, we could afford 2 coin flips. Now it's, we live and die by the one. They had all the, imagine in the, they had every single tool card there. I guess we learned together the AI is broken. The AI is not, I will take it, but that's why we do multiple examples. I can't assume they do that too many times. I guess once they see the fact that they get knocked out and it's only a chance they could return the favor and it doesn't win them the game, in the sense that it just gets them their second point, maybe that's how the AI acknowledges it. Honestly, I'm not behind the code or nothing, so I have no idea, but that's my theory. Either way, let's go to a second example. Alright, we're going second again, which again goes a long way in winning the game. Like, I mean, not in winning the game, but giving us like the best chance possible. Granted, this is one of the reasons Cape is really good. I probably said it in the intro, but Cape against Drober, we take not only the 10 damage, but we also survive the 50. If we were going, let's say, had we been going first, right? And they get 2 hits in with Drober. In this case, it doesn't matter. We just need to survive the first one. Blastoise, okay. This is rough only because we definitely needed, well, not that. Not needed, but we would have appreciated a Squirtle, started building up a Squirtle already. But like I said, Manaphy has a few turns to do its thing. And we already have the rare candy Blastoise part, so it could be worse. Cards that could get us there is obviously both Pokeballs, communication. Yeah, that's about it. I get research. We haven't seen any of that stuff. There's a Squirtle. Beautiful. Yeah, as much as we could get Palkia swinging next turn. Actually, that might be worth it, right? If we ramp, Palkia starts swinging, and we got Squirtle with 2 energy, Palkia swings. Squirtle with 3 energy, Palkia is still getting swung at, but still alive. Alright, yeah, we could afford to actually start swinging with Palkia, so let's do it like that. The only punish is if they build up Dugtrio, but if y'all saw the first example, if Excadrill is applying pressure, they tend to just keep it there doing its thing. The Adaman doesn't change anything because we were never going to be able to one-shot this Excadrill. And very important, they have no way of getting this Palkia out the way. Our Squirtle is more than safe in the back line. If they were playing, what's this card called? Escavalier instead. If they were playing that line, then maybe we would have like reasons to worry here and there, but... Alright, if we've learned anything from past examples, we hold Guzma for as long as possible because... Hold up, let's do it. Because in the last one, that's huge actually. Because if we only hit them for 40, there was no guarantee next turn to get the knockout. So yeah, about Guzma. The one time we took out 3 tools with Guzma, as you saw in the last example, and then they quickly just went, okay, here's the 4th one, and we almost lost because of it. All right. And this is all calculated. However, they kind of sped up the clock with yeah, it's no longer as easy. Yeah, it's not looking too good because Dugtrio speeds up the clock in a way, or can speed up the clock in a way that we don't really have a way to combat. But also, not really, right? Like right now, if they get the knockout on Palkia, we're able to just go like Blastoise, charge it to 4 and pass. Well, not pass. We would swing. Now we'll figure it out. We'll see. We'll see. Obviously, if they just flip one heads only, then we're perfectly fine. Never mind. Yeah, I think as long as we avoid the 3 flips, I think we're good, right? And we definitely Guzma here. Manaphy doesn't do anything. As long as we avoid triple heads, or if they just start doing AI things and run away. Although I think they'll go for it this time. This will support my theory from the first game. If they go for it this time, it means that if it's for lethal, they'll try it. Let's see here. No, okay. So it's like they just don't. They don't take chances. I guess I really don't know. I don't have the answers to why or what they're doing. Rare candy dead. Communication has no targets left. Oh wait, they did add him in, right? Yeah, I was about to knock out the Skarmory. Let's make sure we do. Yeah, it comes down to will they swing with Dugtrio. If it's anything like that last example, they're gonna put Drillbur up front and just lose the game. I didn't make this game. I guess the way to out Dugtrio, I'd have to try so many decks to like prove this, but it's just by presenting lethal and they'll like avoid you. Yeah, that's, I guess for the sake of, had they knocked out our active Blastoise, let's say they would have actually played for it, would we have been able to come back? No. The short answer is no. But luckily for us, we didn't need to. And lucky for y'all, you won't need to, as apparently Dugtrio does not like swinging for lethal if it's not guaranteed, which I guess it never is. So I guess if you present lethal to the Dugtrio, they will respect your board and just back out, which is interesting because usually they love putting their EX up front regardless of what it's meant to do. Like even if it puts them in a losing position, they'll put out their Tapu Koko and all that stuff. But nonetheless, hopefully this video helps you. This list definitely works with or without the Dugtrio not doing anything. But I guess as soon as you present lethal to the Dugtrio, they start hiding it away to the point where they don't mind losing the game if it means protecting the Dugtrio. Regardless, thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Please consider subscribing, and above all else, stay pro.